you know what, just that's it. But yeah, good morning, gents. How are you?
Oh, very good, man.
Yeah, good,
lovely
good.
lovely to speak to you. Very excited to start talking publicly about what we've been working on for the last 12 months. Look, we've got a bit of a packed agenda here in terms of what we want to sort of talk about. But I thought we might just go around the virtual room and introduce ourselves. I'm Tim. I'm the CEO of Zero Latency, one of the co-founders. Yeah, really excited to start talking about how we're taking it to the next level with HTC and our next generation of immersive experiences. Scotty, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So my name's Scott Van Doctor. I'm the CTO and also one of the co-founders of Zero Latency. So I've been working on all the new technology that we've got coming out of the company and everything we deploy to our sites. So it's exciting.
Awesome.
Nice.
And my name's Thomas. I'm the country manager for HTC Vive for Australia and New Zealand. And I'm one of the lucky ones that has been given the privilege to work with Tim and Scott over the last, 12 months now, to work on the new generation of immersive experiences for zero latency.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you guys for jumping on and starting to talk about this. I guess the first thing that's people have been asking me is that how did HTC and Zero Latency get together? Thomas, I thought maybe we could hear a little bit about that from you, about how we became partners and what we've been working on.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty fun story. 12th of May last year is our big announcement day for big reveal for the new HTC Vive standalone headset, HTC Vive Focus 3. And I know there was a little bit of excitement, zero latency. Turns out the announcement is right in the middle of the night for us in Australia. First thing I know, next morning when I tune into my inbox at 7 a.m. in the morning, I go through the emails, one by one, and there's that email from a guy from Zero Latency introducing himself, and it was the first cab of the rank. So obviously there had been a lot of anticipation and build up towards what we were going to be announcing, and it looked like right in the middle of the night, the product that we announced seemed to be the one that Zero Latency and Scott and the team were kind of waiting for, and that's how we went about starting a conversation and giving early access to the hardware. Zero Latency was one of the very first customers to pre-order the headset. And from there, obviously, the story became a really good one for for both parties, and eventually, for everybody that's going to have a chance to try the Zero Latency new gen systems, because it's mind blowing.
Yeah, and it's been I mean, when we were going through the process of been thinking about all-in-one headsets for a while, but obviously they just haven't had the horsepower to deliver a compelling experience. Difficult. Just everything about an all-in-one headset is hard to deliver real AAA experiences. So the Zero Latency for some time has been thinking about, all right, how do we get streaming done? But there was a lot of hurdles in the way over the last 12 months to get that done. And I think what was interesting about the Focus 3 announcement, having looked at like the Meta Quest 2, the PQ, a few other different headsets, there was not quite the right intersection between the flexibility of the platform and I guess the robustness that you get with the HTC product, and obviously that pedigree as well HTC's got, having been the standard for VR arcades pretty much since the dawn of VR time. So I must say, when that we've been looking at the rumors and sort of sniffing around, but once that actually it was announced, it was a no-brainer for us to explore that product. And the good news was, when we unboxed it, it did everything it said on the tin, which is always refreshing because they don't always do that. So that was really good. And I think the other thing that's been really great is the deep partnership that we've had with HTC, like being able to provide a test bed for you for a really interesting use case and a real-world application for the technology, I'm hoping as well. It's been great to take that and put it through its paces in the warehouse and help you guys build out that technology stack as well. Scotty, what's
you're making a really good point. Yeah, you're making a good point, and I don't want to spend too much time on that. But what we've been doing together, obviously, is not just going to be serving the interest of the location-based entertainment market. Obviously, as you know, VR is now something that is kind of working across a variety of industries. And I'm sure people will start getting some inspiration from what we've done together and looking at applying these learnings to their actual needs, may it be for, large group training in the workplace, or, all sorts of different scenarios. So yeah, big thumbs up for that, because I think it's going to give a lot of people really good ideas as to how to integrate, VR and immersive tech in their digital life.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is only becoming, more and more of a thing, which is excellent. Hey, Scott, maybe it'd be worth you going through the high level about why it matters. Like why Gen 3? Why does it matter? What have we solved?
Yeah.
Why that's it?
Yeah. No, it's really exciting what we've been doing with Gen 3. So to step you through the past of zero latency is we've always had a backpack on the players. They've always had to wear a big backpack, which is essentially just like a computer or a laptop, and a bunch of batteries they're carrying around with them in the experience to make that experience possible at all. So we need something to do the rendering that you see inside, inside the HMD that you're wearing on your head. So what we've been able to do with the HTC Vive Focus 3, as well as a bunch of work we've done on video compression, streaming technology, and using the latest of Wi-Fi 6E, is we've been able to get rid of that back essentially and move in the back room. It does all of the rendering for the players and for their experience, and that gets streamed to the player's HMD. So all you have to do is, all you're wearing your Focus 3 on your head. So just this headset is essentially all of the equipment that the person needs to wear to have the same really high fidelity. We've got the performance of the latest graphics cards, really doing high-end AAA game rendering. But you're free to move around, run around. You're not wearing any heavy equipment. It's literally about sort of over 6 kilos less equipment on the person. And it's just amazing. It's so much more freeing for the players. It's easier to move around. You feel like you can just focus on the experience rather than worrying about, all of this equipment you're trying to carry and feeling slower or hunkered down, which is especially good because our experiences can get really warmed up. You play like Soul Raiders or something like that in a competitive game, and that can get intense. It's not having the backpack on just makes an even bigger difference than we could possibly have imagined. And yeah, we are super excited about it. It's awesome.
I think as well, the other thing that's interesting about it is not only do you get a high level of fidelity, obviously you get an all-in-one headset to the tune of about 16 times more power. You can actually push the experiences higher than a backpack for the simple fact that you're not worrying about battery constraints. Because that's always been an issue for the industry of, when you really want to push those graphics cards, they're hungry. They're hungry beasts, and it just sucks those batteries. So that's always been a challenge for us to balance graphical fidelity with battery drain. And I think that it's a little bit technical, but I think that's also a massive thing. Like not only, do our existing, future games be able to push it further, even existing content that we've got, we can jack it up without fear of, chewing through batteries, which is amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's awesome being able to have actually be able to unlock the full power of the graphics card. And totally. Yeah, before we were pushing the absolute limits of how far we could stretch the batteries for our experiences. But definitely the most we could get out of them was like half an hour. But if you really wanted to now, you could spend nearly 3 hours or potentially more just in our experiences. So it gives us heaps more opportunities to do things differently, do them better, get more VR time, get more value. So it's pretty excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the other thing, I mean, we've been, working through the different stages, finding right headset, testing streaming software. I think we ended up trying like 3 or 4 different off-the-shelf streaming solutions before we decided to build our own, because nothing would quite do what we needed it to do, which has often been the case with zero latency. Things will do 80%, but you got to build the last 20. And we felt with this streaming specifically that when you're putting 8 players in it, that's a lot of bandwidth. But really, only up until the advent of the 6E Wi-Fi technology being released has this been possible. I mean, we had some proof of concepts kind of back in December, but 5 gigahertz just doesn't cover it really. So it's really interesting nexus point of, HTC's got a fantastic product which actually works in location-based entertainment and are excited about that industry. The streaming, remote rendering streaming software has finally come of age and is actually stable enough to do it. Plus now we've got this cool intersection of this Wi-Fi standard that allows you to operate, pretty much seamlessly with really zero latency as far as the player is concerned. The illusion's pretty compelling. It's an interesting moment in time, and it almost feels a bit like, the early days of the Oculus coming out and having, computers you could finally put into a backpack. It's almost that leap again, I think. It's that quantum leap of what we can deliver, not just in, obviously it's a little bit cheaper as well, but just that, the seamlessness. And what Zero Latency has always tried to push for is making sure that you can, we want people to step into a virtual world, like through a portal, you're in there. But making the technology as seamless as possible. And I feel the Gen 3 system, this next gen system is definitely, we're very close to that original dream of being able to just, put on a seamless device and to step into a virtual world, interact with it until you get sick of it. I think we're really close to that, which is exciting. Where can you try it is a question that we've been asked. So we're rolling these out. This is the next gen system is the Zero Latency default standard. If you're interested in getting one as an operator, hit us up on our website, zerolatencyvr.com. But if you want to come and play it at the moment in Melbourne, if you want to go down to the Docklands, we've got a fresh new site set up there next to Archie Brothers with a local Melbourne operator, which is awesome. And then we're rolling them out. We've got one going into Europe in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Up over in the UK in Reading, we've also got one coming into Orlando the next sort of 6 weeks, Cincinnati, Ohio, and Las Vegas. The next cab's off the rank, and then we've got another 22 ready to roll out, plus existing operators that are going to, existing Zero Latencies will be rolling these out too. So, yeah, back them up. It's exciting times. I don't know if you guys have got anything anything else you guys want to add before we close. We've got a 10-minute window where anyone else got anything else they want to add in?
Now, the thing I just wanted to say was on behalf of HTC's, obviously partnerships, right, is what it takes to take a product off the shelf and turn it into a custom solution for you guys. And it's been an amazing journey for us to work together, week in, week out, delivering little Easter eggs, as you said before, Tim. 6E was not even part of the story, right? When we pitched the product in the early days. And as 6E is now being ratified across more and more countries, and obviously Australia is part of the 6E story now, you really take these beasts to the next level. And for having tried it myself, the amount of immersion you get out of the system, the quality of the onboarding. I mean, I've tried a few different solutions before, and there's nothing that beats the scenario whereby all you need is headset, gun, just a nice little turn of the dial at the back. It feels really, smooth, and you're in there, right? The second you pop the headset in, you're in there. You're not going to be, wasting too much time learning about the hardware and worrying about the tech, as you said. And I think, the job is done when, our partners are confidently saying this about our product. So, yeah, absolutely loving it. And the best thing I've actually done myself in this new system is, for the first time ever, I actually ran in VR. I know I've said that story before to a few people, but we've been in the VR game for 6 or 7 years now. Mm-hmm. And it's only when you don't second guess yourself and really trust the hardware and the tech and the system and the environment that you just forget everything else, right? And you just get in there and just run to your respawning point. And I hadn't seen this before. It's amazing. Highly recommend. It's just get out of the house and go try it out if you can, because it's it's going to give you, it's a little, it's a first step into, creating these virtual memories together, or real memories of a virtual event, which I think Zero Latency is doing a fantastic job at. So hats off to you guys and to your teams. You've done some fantastic work here.
Thank you very much. And it's been a pleasure to work with you guys, and onwards and upwards into the future. Scotty, you got any closing comments, my friend?
No, look, I can reiterate some of those the points there that Tom's has just covered. The HTC has been absolutely fantastic to work with. They're really dedicated to making sure that VR is excellent with the Focus 3 in the location-based entertainment sector, which is excellent to see, excellent to have that support. And that just looks like just ongoing, and we're really loving it. So yeah, keep expecting more, I would say, from our platform. We've got more to come. We're only just starting to get to the tip of the iceberg on what this hardware can do and what we can do with the platform. So there's more exciting stuff to come, which we'll be announcing throughout this year. So
between some of the stuff on the content roadmap, what we're doing with the next iteration with HTC, I know I want to spill the beans now, but we've got to wait. Got to keep those beans in the bag. Yeah. Beans will stay in the bag. Yeah. Awesome.
Don't
Hey,
speak, don't speak, don't speak the beans, but all I say is you guys keep on pushing the boundaries and keep on, challenging us, and it's a really good joint effort. Crazy stuff. Love to be part of that journey.
And I think, that's what we do. We're relentless in our pushing of the boundary, and I think it's good to have a partner that gets it and wants to push them as well. HTC is not a company that rests on its laurels. It's impressive to see you guys continue to punch out. Probably, I would say, right now the best technology in the game, hands down, in terms of ease of use, everything like stuff that just makes life easier for operators, like tracking, acquisition, all that stuff is just absolutely flawless. So, thank you.
No worries. Can't wait to get back to Docklands.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. All right. See you. And thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope that was informative. And we'll see you all soon.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Enjoy the evening wherever you are.
Yeah. See you guys.
See you.
I'll just be streaming my ride to work. We'll